Hello, this is John, Vintage Fisherman. Feeling a lot better today. Lordy, I've been through the ringer on the health issues lately, but this is a Baitrunner I picked up local. I got two of these. The other one I decided to keep for my collection. It was in perfect condition. After I got it cleaned up, I was like, wow, that's nice. This one, I've got a rod for it. I'm gonna fish with it. It's a little bit rougher. Some of the labelings wore off, those kinds of things. So I'm going to clean it up good, get it out there and get it back into catching fish. It all seems to be in really good order. This one isn't as sandy as the other one was. No, wait a minute, I'm thinking about a whole different reel. The other one wasn't that dirty. But this one's in pretty good shape. Gonna tear it down today. Don't know if I'll get around to cleaning it up today, but we'll go through the whole tear down process. Just taking off the obvious stuff, you know. We're going to get this braid off of here. I won't even go into it. I'm trying to be nice. This way too heavy a line for this reel. There's a time and place for braid. Don't get me wrong. It just, I don't know. I can't get that off of there. There's a time and place for it. I like it for deep water, like Carolina rigging for bass. In saltwater, you know, if you need a lot of capacity, if you're fishing light gear and you're fishing for big fish that will run, but fish that aren't so big they're going to kill your reel and rod, then braid's definitely the right thing. I hear people say, well, it casts so much better and blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it casts any better than anything else. Now, here's how the drag went together. You had two of those metal plates, Teflon. Oh, let's see here. Metal. Now, there was a white Teflon, and you got a black Teflon, eared. Those were two eared at the bottom. Two eared washers back to back. And then your last, you had a Teflon, black Teflon, and then the last keyed washer at the top. That's the sequence on it. To get the Baitrunners apart, you have to take this lever apart. So this comes loose right here. So this is a 350. This is the first run of the Baitrunners. These, yeah, 350 and a 450. It's the first Baitrunners I've ever seen. So if there's something older, you tell me. But these were made in, that says 98, but I thought these things were from the 80s. It is made in Japan. That's another nice thing about these. They're true Shimano. They're made in Japan. So you take that whole lever off. When you wash these things, don't use an ultrasonic on any of these parts. Even this. You want to scrub these by hand. I used WD-40 as a solvent. I got a 3-gallon tank over here. I'll hand scrub these things in it. And that way it doesn't do any damage to the finish. And these little stripes and stuff in them, well, that one's lost the stripe, but it doesn't hurt those little labels. They look like brand new when you're done. What do I like these things for? I use them for, I like them because they're multi-purpose for me on the pier. I'm a pier fisherman. I fish for king mackerel, but a lot of times when we're just slow on the king mackerel, we're fishing for whatever. And I can use it for bottom fishing. I'll put it on like an 8-foot surf rod. Or if the cobia are around, I'll tie a jig, a 3-ounce cobia jig on, and I'll make a throw on the cobia if we see them. We sight cast those. This one's been lubricated recently. Sure has. So I'm going to be replacing these bushings with bearings. I have the side bearings right there. I ordered a whole pile of them. I have the pinion bushing or bearing right there. So we're gonna upgrade it. The 350s, and I think the I've got a 450 coming. I'll let you know how it's made. I've never tore one down. It'll probably be my next video. They say they're bushing also, but we're going to upgrade this thing to bearings. It's going to be really nice, really nice. Take those 2 screws out and just pull your Baitrunner lock out just like that. Okay. To pull your axle shaft, take this screw out right here. I love the simplicity of how Shimano did these reels compared to what they do nowadays. Your axle lock nut, take your hook, grab a hold of that lock, and pull it straight out. Then you can pull your shaft out and clean it. Now you can take the main gear out. Take your tweezer pliers, pull your crosswind gear and crosswind block out. They'll come out together. Usually. You've got another bushing down in there. Pop it out. And we will take the rotor. Got a lock on here. Take the screw out of the lock. Pop the lock off of it. Then, I don't know what size. I'd say it's 12 millimeter. Just loosen it up. Take a note on how tight it was. It's not super tight. You can pull that off. Gets a little more complicated out here. Here is your anti-reverse. It works off friction. When you're cranking forward, reeling in the line, this little wire pops the anti-reverse dog away from that star. But then when you go backwards, it pops it back in and locks it. That's how that works. Also pay attention, you've got one section there, there's no teeth. That is the section that if you put this on here, it would go on like this. It's so when you reel around to pick your line up, the roller and bail will slide around out of your way to cast. So you got to pay attention when you put it back together. So here's how I take this apart. Very gently pop that wire off of that anti-reverse dog. Flip this lever, that gets the dog out of your way. And you can pull all this. It's stuck. That's a first. It's stuck. There it goes. And you can slide that whole thing off. Keep this together just like it is. I'll clean it in ultrasound. I don't take this apart. If this comes off of here, you better remember how it goes back on it, because your anti-reverse won't work. Now, with that done, we're going to take this lock off. I don't take this off unless it's corroded. You can clean it up and lubricate it just like it is. Take the lock This piece here was down with the teeth looking thing. Those don't do anything. I don't know what they're there for. It goes on like that. It went on first, then this went on. You take this lock off, and then you can pull your pinion out. Pinion is going to have a shim on it, so you want to keep that. And this bearing might get replaced since I'm going to use this reel, and then that's the whole pinion assembly. On some Baitrunners, they'll have like a plastic bushing down in here. This one doesn't have. It's hit and miss. Shimano didn't do 2 Baitrunners the same. I swear to God they didn't. But I don't take this off. I leave those on there. It works pretty good. I just clean the grit out of them. And the last thing on the body to take apart is the Baitrunner part of it. So let's dig into that. There's two. Well, there's a clip. There's a C-clip right here that holds this toothed gear on there. Okay. I'm going to rotate that C-clip around where it's open at the top, like this. And then I'm going to pop it off of there. I'm feeling a lot better today, so I'm doing a better job explaining myself. The last few reels I've done, I have not done a very good job. I've been sick. And man, I feel like new money today. Pop that off of there. I use 2 of these little eyeglass screwdrivers to get on both sides. Just push straight down evenly. Once it comes loose, you can take your hook and get it out. And I'm gonna lay out all the pieces to this puzzle right here. All this is going to get washed with the rotor stuff. Your cog, you can flip your lever up and get this cog off. Just slide straight forward. There is a right way and a wrong way to reinstall this piece. We're going to talk about that for a minute. That shim goes right there. The shim goes between the cog and the housing. So this one has a dimple on it. Some reels do, some don't. This dimple was back towards the knob. So we're going to put it back together just like that. There is a difference in this gear, the way the teeth are cut. If you put it in there backwards, it doesn't function properly. It will function. Does not function properly. Okay? So we're going to pay close attention to that. And then you'll take your hook tool and go down underneath here, and you'll pull up on this horseshoe clip. It comes out. Then you can take your whole knob assembly out of there. And it's stuck. That's unusual. Okay. Just dirty. This little red trim piece, very carefully remove it so you can clean it good. It'll be a nice bright red when you get done with it, but you don't want to break that. That's a very important piece, believe it or not. Inside of here, you got a spring. Pay attention how all this stuff comes out. Underneath that spring, you've got a metal washer, and you've got a Teflon washer. Sometimes it's 2 Teflon washers together. Then you've got this metal piece in here with the teeth on it. Just kind of get a hold of it with something wide enough to get both sides of the teeth and screw that out of there. We're going to put some fresh grease on that. And so this is how all that side comes out. Now, it keeps going, buddy. You got this piece here. It has a tab that goes into here and a tab that sticks out. And you got two tabs here that stick back towards the knob. It comes out. And this one, the drag washer stuck to it. This Baitrunner function works like a drag. So it's got drag washers. So this goes like that. And you got a drag washer. Let's keep sliding this stuff. So we have some room here. Then take your tweezer pliers. Pull this whole thing out. And that's the Baitrunner function is out of it. You can slide that out. And it goes out here with this piece. And you got a drag washer there. And the star wheel goes in between it. And that's it. That is it. Now, since I'm going to be switching this to bearings from bushings, we're going to have to figure out the shim situation. So, we'll get back to that. Not a lot to the rotors on these. They're fairly simple. They're very simple design. We'll take the line roller screw out. And it's going to have like a Teflon washer on it. Just leave it on there. It'll clean up like it is. This little piece here pushes out. Like that. Right here. Some have a liner, some don't. This model doesn't. Take that out there. Over here is your trip, your bell trip. See? Kind of cool, ain't it? You got an E-clip right there. You get something with a little bit of a crisp point, get up under that E-clip. Don't let it go flying on you. Try not to stab yourself. And pop that E-clip up out of there. It's in an awkward place. The Shimano does a lot of their spinning reels like that. Then that just comes out. Listen to me on this. This thing here is a loose piece. Don't lose it. Take that out there. This thing is gummy. Surprised the bell's even tripping on it. Take that out. Note how it went in there, the tab sticking up. Oops, we're going to take this screw out. This is where you're going to find the most dirt on a reel. It's going to be out here on this, on the rotor. Okay, watch what I do here. This spring, don't lose it. It goes in from here to a hole right there on this lever, on this arm. Take it out. Don't let it go flying. Just remember how it went in there, right? Then this arm comes out, and that's that side of the rotor. But on this arm, and I have lost these before, and luckily found them in the bottom of the parts washer, there's a little bitty plastic tab that has to come off. We'll show you how that goes back together. Over here is your bell spring. It's just a normal bell spring. It's not a coil type. It's a, well, it is a coil, but it's not what you would think. Not a traditional coil. But it looks like a bell spring on about every Japanese reel up to the 70s. And it's got the red grease in it, and that's I used to think that was something that somebody just did, and it's not. It's what Shimano used in these Baitrunners. They used a red grease like that. So I'm going to clean some of this stuff up before I put it in the parts washer because it's pretty nasty. Parts washer's warming up over here. I'm going to get it dirty. We'll go through and wipe all this excess grease. We'll get it off of there. Let's finish this up. The screw that holds the bell arm on is right here. Easy to get out, hard as hell to get lined back up, put in. Don't cross thread it. So I'm not a big fan of this, but this is how you gonna get a screwdriver straight on that. I mean, I guess if you had something to go through that little bitty hole and get to it, wouldn't be much of a screwdriver, would it? All right. Like I said, I try to keep all my sections of parts together. Just pop that, and that bell spring will just come on out and say hello to you there, and that's it. We'll go through and wipe the excess grease off all these parts, and we'll throw it in the parts washer. The only reason to really wipe the excess off is it just makes a mess out of the parts washer. And you'll have to keep running it and running it and running it until it finally gets it all off of there. Yeah, the worst parts are going to be like this gear and that Baitrunner piece, and then anything down in here, I'll have to use a Q-tip for that. Let's use this Q-tip on this one. I go through a lot of Q-tips. I go through probably 100 Q-tips a week, if not more. I buy them by the boxes off Amazon. Because this reel is going to get used, it's getting all the special treatments. If it's just going to go on the shelf, it just needs to be pretty, right? But this reel is going to get used. So I don't want anything that's going to cause it to have a problem out on the water. You have to treat every cast like you're going after the trophy of your lifetime. Because guess what? That's the beauty of fishing. You might be. You don't know what's going to hit that line out there unless you can see it. And that's a very rare occasion where you actually get to see what's getting ready to eat. Freshwater situations, yeah, that happens pretty often. But saltwater, a lot of times you never see it until it's lighting your life up. Now, you know, Shimano used what I think is something like cows in their reels. And I have never fully done a reel with just cow's grease in. I may on this one. I don't know. I'm kind of partial to the super lube for the Shimanos, but we'll see. You see, I'm just going through and wiping all this mess out. So when I throw it in the parts washer, it will clean it all the way up. This piece here, you don't have to take this apart. I don't see any advantage of doing that, actually. You're not going to gain anything from that. Unless it's locked up and you got to replace a piece on it, which you'll never find these parts. Shimano quit making these parts a long time ago. What you'll have to do is you'll find the whole unit. You'll find this whole unit somewhere. You can use, you know, buy it off somebody off eBay or whatever. This unit's very similar for every single Baitrunner. It's just difference in the differences in the size of the unit. But it's very similar. And last is the housing. Take a few Q-tips to that. I scrub these by hand, so not a big deal. It just, if you get a little more out here, it's less scrubbing over there. And this is usually where your grease will get the most gunked up for some reason. They put a lot of grease in here. Okay, well, I'll go hand scrub all this stuff, and we'll have a cool little bait runner when we get back. I'll throw some line on it after I get it done and put it on a rod. I'll be back. Hello, this is John. I'm back on this Shimano 350 bait runner. Almost forgot the most important part of it. Ah, yeah. Let's build this thing. Turned out really nice. This is a good user quality reel. It's just in beautiful shape. There's no major flaws. Oh, sleeping grease all over me. Really got it pretty clean. I mean, looks like a brand new reel on the inside there. It is really. There's nothing wrong with this reel. Let's put it together and put it to use. I've already got line on it. We'll start out over here. I'm about to get me some super lube today. I'm about out of it. Put some of that down in there for the bail arm here. And your bail spring goes in with the short end of the spring down. And you will, well, let's put the cover on it first. Just a little bit of grease up on top of there, on top of that spring, where this cover is going to, where it will rub this cover every time it opens and closes. Make sure we're getting the right screws here. Those go with that. Yeah, I think we got it. Your bail arm goes on like this, and the spring clips into it, and you've got one screw. This black screw goes in like that. This is the one that's so hard to get lined up straight. You don't want to cross thread that. You will really regret it. Check your work as you go. Still don't have that tight. It's a 2-finger tight kind of thing, but not a crank into it kind of thing, you know. Okay, in here, put a little bit of grease there, a little bit of grease there. See, it's getting low. I might not make it through this reel. This piece here goes in with that tab up. And it goes in, just drop it in right there. Then this, and I'll just put a little dab of grease right there on that. And it drops in like that. This little plastic piece with a little pin on it. Hopefully you didn't break that, because that's really important on this reel. It goes in just right there. So you got this little piece and this little piece. And the last piece of the puzzle is this spring, and it goes in just like this. So there's a little hole right in there. You gotta kind of look for it. Once you get in that hole, you just kind of push that spring right over there. It looks like that. I just bought a 450. It's missing that spring. It was supposed to be a parts reel. And I have called every single Shimano dealer in America, and nobody has that. So, and I put a little bit of dab of grease on top of that spring. It don't look like it's fitting on there right, does it? So I had to buy a whole nother reel to fix a parts reel. One of the problems with, that's the wrong screw. It's this one here. There's 3 screws that are very similar. 2 are right and 1 is wrong. That one there goes with the, it locks the rotor nut. It's just a little bit different size. So next, we're going to put a little bit of grease up here. When I'm out today, I'm going to buy another 2 of this, and I'm going to try to find a nozzle for it, for lack of a better term. I don't know what you'd call it, really. This goes on like this, and then you got this E-clip that you got to push down on there. The E-clip goes in just like that. Ooh, almost did it, didn't it? Don't want to go on there. Here it goes. And so when you turn that, it should push that out, but when that spring should return it back to where it's supposed to be right there. Okay. Little drop of oil, and put your roller on. Then if you remember this piece, which is pretty dirty still for some reason, this piece goes in right here, like that. And then what I do, because this is going to get a lot of salt on it, this is going to be a saltwater reel, I'll put a little bit of dab of grease on there. And put that through and screw it into that bail wire. And you want to make sure that roller turns. And that's the whole rotor assembly. Looks pretty good. I liked everything down pretty good yesterday. That's why it looks so good. I waited a day to build this thing. I'm going to start doing that. I think it's better to let everything kind of, let some of that WD-40 dissipate off of it. It's a lot less mess to work with. This, something I didn't point out when I started taking this reel apart. Somebody glued this reel to a rod. And I can't do anything about that. It'll just eventually crack off of there. It's not a showpiece. You know, it's, I bought it to use. So, you can start at either end. I'm going to start back here with this. A little bit of grease on this brass piece that your Baitrunner function goes into. It goes on here like this. Flip your lever up. Flip it up to the Baitrunner position. And you'll tuck that Teflon washer up in there. Like that. Then this goes in, and this one, the little dimple goes back towards the knob. It'll go either way on these reels, but I'm telling you, what I look for, what I have learned now, and I'm on like Baitrunner number 15 or 20 here. I'll just show it to you. The rounded side of the gear, where it's kind of finished off, always goes back towards the knob. The squared off piece goes out. It don't matter where that dimple is. I think I've said in previous videos that dimple always goes out. It doesn't. They put it on, I don't know what happened, but they put it here and there and everywhere. The only right way is to put the gear in with a rounded edge. You see how much rounded it is or finished? It goes in towards the knob. Don't know what to tell you about that, but that's the way it goes. Once you got it in there, you can throw that hand on it, hold it in place, and you can push your clip in. It goes into the groove on that brass piece. Don't lose it. Parts for these Baitrunners are non-existent. If you're going to fish with them, buy up all the ones you can for parts. Just you see them on eBay, it says parts reel, $35, whatever, just buy it. One piece is going to cost you more than $35. That I can guarantee you. All right, let me get the cowls out here. We got drag washer. The Baitrunner feature works like a drag. It keeps this thing from spinning so fast that it backlashes the line. You put drag washer on there and tuck it down. Okay. Then you got this cog with this little star looking gear. It goes on there. Tuck it down. There. Don't be concerned that cog's not touching that tab. It's not supposed to touch that tab. It touches this tab right here on this one. Freaked me out the first time. I was like, something's wrong. Well, it was right. You just have to wait till the whole puzzle comes together. My hand's getting so greasy, I can't touch nothing. You put that in there, the other drag washer with some cowls on it. And then you got this tab piece. The short tab goes into the housing. There's a little slot in there it goes into. Those two little ears go up towards you as you're working here. It's just like that. All right, we'll set that aside for a second. Got to do a couple things right here. A little bit of grease up in the knob. Then take your adjuster, put in there. Turn it down. Don't turn it tight, just turn it down. Put your trim piece on. Carefully, don't crack it. Goes on there like that. You've got a Teflon washer that goes in. Put that in there and tuck it. Then you got a metal washer that goes in. And you got your spring. Not all of them have the metal washer, some of them just have the Teflon. Then you're going to take this thing. Those two slots have to line up with those two ears on that piece there. So you just slide it in there. Yeah. Line it up. Take your horseshoe clip. The short arm of the horseshoe goes to the bottom and it goes in that slot. Just like that. And then you can use this, you can adjust it. You crank it down, crank it back, just to make sure it works. Okay, this end's done. We'll go to this end up here. I'm going to replace the bearings. I forgot to mention that. So let's grab a bearing here. because I'm going to use this reel, let's get new bearings. I ordered these off of Amazon. I ordered them by the size. And I don't have the size in front of me. I think they were like 14 by 8 by 5. No, 14 by 7 by 5. Okay, so I'm gonna take the inner shield off. Just pop it, just like that. I don't keep them on there. Then just a little drop of Boca oil, just one drop will do. You're gonna put that bearing on there just like that. We're gonna grease it up. Go ahead and grease your gear, grease everything. You can put some grease down in there. You will have to use something to spread that grease. It's not going to go down where you want it. There we go. And with the open end of the bearing, the sealed end out, just push it in there. Just like that. Then you got your retainer, which goes in like this. It goes a certain way. This tab here covers that spring up, so that spring won't come flying out while it's in use. So make sure you got that right. See how it goes? I didn't show it long enough, did I? This tab covers that spring. Okay, next thing is it gets this shim. This piece here goes in with the teeth down. It's keyed, so it only goes on one way, that way. But the teeth go down, the flat goes up. This piece here, hopefully you didn't let this gear pop off of here. And it goes in with the gear, the ratchet, down towards that piece. Now here, you want to slide that wire. Well, let's do it like this. You want to slide that wire over top of that anti-reverse dog. So what that does is when you're reeling in line, there's no noise. But then when you go to backpedal the reel, it ratchets in. Now you notice there's one long section there with no teeth on. It's important you do this. This has 2 teeth. This has 2 slots for those teeth. You want rested on that one tooth that's by itself there. And this is keyed also. You're going to slide it on there to where your roller is right over here. And I'm going to tell you why here in just a second. Give that just a little bit of grease. So we'll go ahead and lock it down. You got this lock that goes on there. And sometimes you have to kind of finagle the nut to get that screw hole to line up. That might be too loose. No, that's probably right. And then that one screw that's kind of an oddball goes in there. So the reason why you want that one tooth, you pull it around here, you pick your line up, and you let that fall away by itself. And that's why. Any other place it would stop right in your way. You see right there, it's got that long pattern. Okay. Well, that's my little history lesson on that. More bearings. Okay. Maybe not. Once again, I went on Amazon. This is how I get my bearings anymore. I gave up on trying to order bearing sets from the different manufacturers. I hope these are right bearings. No, they're not. They sent me the wrong bearings. Sure did. They sent me the wrong bearings. So even when you measure and you order, you still get the wrong thing. Oh boy, this is not good. So, guess what I get to do? I get to order some more bearings today. I'm not even gonna bother sending these back. But why did they send me the wrong ones? So I'll have to take this reel back apart at a future date, fix it. Because I'm not going with the plastic bushings. I'm so dejected with bearings. I'm so tired of dealing with these bearing companies. I don't think I got anything in here that'll fit this one. I think I used them all up. That's definitely not it. Yeah, I'll order the bearings. We'll just continue with the build here. Yeah, I'm not happy about that at all. What do? You know? They weren't much, thank goodness. I can tell you how, let me just measure once. I can tell you how far off they are. The outside is right and the thickness is correct. It's the inside diameter that they're totally wrong on. They're supposed to be 13, 1298, that's 13, 4 millimeter by 7. These are 5. So, yeah, they're too small on the inside diameter. And these will fit something. You know, no problem there. But now I have to fit what I'm working on today. So today they're going to get, it's going to get these cheesy little bushings back in it. I am not a fan of them. You go fish hard, you want bearings. So we'll push that plastic bushing back in there. We'll put some grease down where the cross line goes. We'll put some grease on the cross line. Put some grease in this groove on the crosswind block, and some grease on top of the crosswind gear. And we'll put that in there. Just like that. And we'll take the main gear, grease it up good. All right. And it just sits down into that bushing. Then I always take a little bit of grease and put right there and right there where it strikes the clutch plate. You got two shims. Go right there and right there. The outer cover gets one of these cheesy little bushings, just like that. Go ahead and put the shaft in here, the axle shaft. It goes in. You got a groove that goes on each side of the crosswind, and you'll put this lock in there and rotate it down. And why is it not wanting to fit? We've got a problem here. Oh, yeah, you're right. You do have a problem. Have it in there all the way. And then you can rotate that down and right into place. See, it's a little lock down right there. And then I'm going to take the screw set, put it in there. I can't get my fingers down there to put that screw in. And the last thing that goes inside this reel is the first thing that came out. I have sprayed this down with Ballistol. It's a great lubricant. It doesn't dry, but it doesn't get runny. It just has like a little congeal to it. Just drop that on there. Stretch that little piece there. It's got a little bit of a spring pressure to it, but you'll pull that out. And then you'll pop that in place. Hold on to everything. Sucks I'm going to have to go back into this reel before I can put it on a rod, but I should have bearings by, let's see, today's Sunday. If I order today, I'll have them by Wednesday. Not a big deal. Just sucks. I may have ordered the wrong ones. I'll go back and look. I could have put 5 in instead of 7 on the search. Yeah, I'm not beyond making mistakes. I'm not perfect. That's why I don't get too worried. If I do order the wrong bearings, yeah, it's money. Yeah, can't use them right now, but as many reels as I do in a year's time, chances are I'll need that size bearing. Real good chance of it. Just make sure it works. Spins around. Yep. Okay. Well, let's put the lid on it here. Don't look like it's going together, does it? Yeah, it did. So you got 4 screws in the cover. You got 3 pretty good sized screws. They look like a wood screw. Oh, there's 3 big ones that go here, here, and here. And then the smaller one. And they got those big flutes on them, so don't get them mixed up with some of the other screws. This one here with the fine threads, it goes with this. You'll put those screws in there. Yeah, I called Shimano America, and they like didn't even know what the hell kind of reel this was. I'm not making that up. Shout out to Mike's. Oh, was it Mike's Reel Repair or something like that? The lady there was super helpful. She said it did cross over. Oh, this isn't the reel. I've got another reel here. This is a 450. It's missing a spring up in here. It's the same spring that this one takes. She says it crosses over to a rear drag reel, but she said it they didn't have it. They don't make it anymore. So, all right, we're gonna put this red piece on there. This slides down into that and onto that shaft. Ooh, there we go. Take your screw and put a little bit of grease on it. There's a seal in here. It kind of stays in there. I've never had one come out that will seal this screw up from corrosion and sand, but I always put grease on it too. But end of the day, if you get salt water up in these reels, I don't care how much grease you got on them, the salt water finds its way through it. Oh, I got a little ahead of my game here. Take this off, put the handle back on. The handle gets this handle screw. We'll grease that up good. These Baitrunners are funny about handles. They're not interchangeable. You would think a 350, a 3500A, a 3500B, and whatever would all take the same handle. Nope. They changed them from model to model. They're all different. Tighten that up. This handle's pretty crunchy. It'll get better though. Let's fill it full of oil. That's smooth. The handle's not very smooth, but that's smooth. We're going to fix that handle here real quick. That handle is definitely nasty. So to get that apart, you got to take your little hook tool. Actually, I go with the bigger one. I go with one of my bigger ones here. Just a Harbor Freight O-ring tool. Pick. You can put it in there. Kind of rotate it around. Keep popping. And this little cap will eventually, because it just press fits in there, will eventually let go. I should have done this when I was washing it. I noticed it was a little crunchy, and well, I didn't address it, so here I am. But I'm going to show y'all how to do it. I usually do this off camera, to be honest with you. Man, it's really pressed in there. Okay. Yeah, this thing is, look at all the crud. Well, you want to see a mess. This one doesn't have a screw to take out, so I'm just going to have to clean it right here in place. We're going to get all that sand out there. Wow. It is really sandy. Yeah, some of them you can take a screw out of them and very, very easily clean them. This one's not one of those. So if you could take the screw out, now would be the time. Take that screw out of there and just take the whole handle off. Whole handle paddle and wow. That is pretty daggone bad, ain't it? I'm going to fill it full of some Cruel. And I'm going to spin it until it starts washing out the bottom there, because I might have made it worse. I swear I did. Yeah. It's coming out. Look at that. Well, what I could do is pressure it out of there. Let's see how this goes. That's horrible, isn't it? You would notice that the whole time you're cranking this reel. So what I might have to do is take this handle back off and put it back in the parts washer to get all that out of there. It's not loose, or is it? No, it's not loose. It's just really sandy. It's getting better. There we go. That WD-40 helps blast it out of there. We'll go with a little bit thicker oil in it. You can almost hear this. Yep, look at there. The tone change in the oils. Yeah, that'll be all right. And put that little cap back down in there. They don't come out easy, as you can tell. Okay. That's a lot better. It even has a spin to it now. All right, let's build this drag. I've already put line on it. 14-pound Suffix. Takes 2 of the eared washers, go down first. Two of them, back to back. Then you'll get 2 of these black Teflon. Just throw some cowls on there and throw it in there. Then you got 1 black Teflon. Then you got a keyed washer. Then another black And then you got an eared washer. And then you got your white Teflon. And that one don't want to fit right for some reason. And then that. This is not the waterproof drag system that some of these bait runners have. This reel does not have it, unfortunately. Then it gets this keeper goes in there. Just a wire keeper. You're going to flip it over. This little thing here gets a little drop of oil. It's a clicker, line out clicker thing. And your knob. And there's enough grease on there, I don't need to grease it. So your drag. Okay, so if you want to go to a free spool feature, that's when your line can go out. And then when you go to crank, it goes back in, locks it back into the drag. That play is normal on all bait runners. You're going to get that. It's very normal. Don't worry about it. You can adjust how fast that spins by adjusting this knob. This is your tension. So you can slow it down or you can speed it up. Okay. Isn't that neat? Super smooth reel. I picked a good one to make a fisher out of. I'll set it on the shelf, order the bearings, and life will be good when they come in, and I'll be able to put it on I got a 9-foot rod for it. Actually, I got an 8-foot rod for it. So it will be ready to fish with. I fish with the 350s. I don't fish on the 3500s. I don't fish with anything bigger than that. On the pier, on the beach, I'll fish with the 6000 or 6500s and the 4500s. Well, that's it, folks. There you go. The Shimano Baitrunner 350. That's the first gen bait runners. I really like them. I think they're a nice looking reel, very proud looking reel. They've got this mixture of colors, and the quality on these reels is pretty good compared to some of the later. It doesn't have instant anti-reverse. That's okay. But it's not bad. But see, you pull around here to where you want to pick that line up. Oops, went too far. Right here. Pick a line up, and it falls back, and then when you go to cast or go to crank it, it picks the bail back up. So I like it. I will set this aside, and hopefully my bearings will be here in a day or two, and I'll finish it up. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. Thanks for watching. I really like these bait runners. There's going to be a bunch of them scattered out over the next few months, starting in August. Actually starting around my birthday in July, and they're going to run here and there all the way through to probably January or February of next year. Trying to space them out a little bit. I did them all at once. So I'm bait runnered out right now. I've still got like 4 more bait runners to rebuild. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take a kid fishing.